Hey guys, welcome back to the Dawgfatha's BBQ YouTube channel. Today we're doing smoked pulled pork butt on the Weber Kettle. Let's get into it. Alright guys, that's right. We're going to do pulled pork. You guys have reached out to me through YouTube and Instagram and everything and said, hey Dawgfatha, how do you do pulled pork? So that's what we're going to do today, and we're going to be using a couple of good rubs today from my good buddy Uncle Steve Shake to be exact, and I'll have the links down below so you guys can check out the rubs as well as any items that you see in my videos. Check the links down below. I have a Amazon storefront where you can pick up these items if you so choose to. But so today we're going to be using Uncle Steve's thick meat. We're going to use that as our base layer on this pulled pork today. The second rub we're going to use is Uncle Steve's Competition Pig Powder. Now this is a new blend of spices that he's put together that it just screams pork. So we're going to put that onto our pulled pork today and get it on the Weber Kettle. So guys, let's get this meat seasoned. All right, let's go. All right guys, so what we have here is a pork butt that I got from my local Costco. Now this pork butt was actually already deboned. I usually like to get them with the bone in, but hey, I had to get what they had. So they had a boneless pork butt. So this is basically, like I said, it's one part of it is two pieces like this that are in the pack. But you know what, I'm just gonna season this one right here and I'll get the other one seasoned in a minute, but let's go ahead and get this one seasoned. And today we're gonna be using Uncle Steve's thick meat, and so that's gonna be our first layer we're gonna get on here. So I'm just gonna liberally just kind of sprinkle it all over this pork butt. Definitely gonna get the insides of this as well, and then kind of press it in. Now the second layer that we're gonna put on here, and trust me guys, I'm gonna get over to the other side, but I'm just gonna work on this side right now. But the second layer we're gonna be using is gonna be Uncle Steve's Competition Pig Powder. Now this one is a newer rub that got sent to me by Uncle Steve, and my guy Daddy Dutch over at Daddy Dutch BBQ used this in a competition and actually grand champion the competition using this very rub. So we're gonna try it out today. I'm gonna open this up, get this all up in here too, and we're gonna flip this guy over and we'll repeat the process. Alright guys, so just like that we got this pork butt all seasoned up, and like I said, I've got another one I'm going to do, so I'm going to get that one seasoned up, and then we're going to get this Weber Kettle fired up, so I'll meet you over at the grill. Alright guys, so today, as I said, we're going to be doing this pulled pork on our Weber Kettle. And if you guys have been around long enough, you know I love to use B&B Competition Oak Briquettes, so that's what we're going to use. To flavor this up, we're going to actually use some hickory wood chunks today. So you know guys, you've been around, you've seen how I light up the charcoal. It's no different. We're going to use our charcoal chimney, and we're going to use a tumbleweed because that's what I have, and we're going to light some charcoal and get it onto the grill. So let's get this thing lit up and let's get these pork butts on. All right, let's go. Alright guys, so today we're going to be using our Weber Kettle, and we're going to be using our slow and sear. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to line this with aluminum foil so that when I have my meat over here, it's just a cleaner cleanup. So I'm going to go ahead and get that aluminum foil installed. Alright, so now we've got our aluminum foil installed, and this is going to catch all of our juices, and so we can go ahead and get our charcoal put in. Alright guys, so we got our pork butt onto our Weber kettle. We got it fired up, got our, charcoal, we got our wood in there. It's in there taking its smoke bath. So now what do? Well guys, it's kind of very similar to how you cook a brisket. At least that's how I do it. So if you've seen the video on how to do the Weber kettle brisket, this is very similar in the way that we're going to cook this. Again, I am not concerned about the temperature inside the Weber kettle. I know I'll get a million questions about how hot was it, what was the temperature. And again, I cook by feel when it comes to the Weber kettle, guys. I've got my bottom vent wide open. I've got my top vent about a quarter open or so. And I'm gonna let this thing go for a couple of hours. I'll come back in a couple of hours and we'll take a look at it, and then I'll assess it. If it looks like it's cooking a little fast, then I'll pinch down the top vent a little bit more, and we'll spritz it and keep it moist and that type of thing. Again, it's all a feel cook, guys. I'm not worried about pit temperature and all of this and that and the other with the Weber kettle. I'm keeping it very simple. I'm keeping it a very simple cook. We'll do it by feel. The first part of this, again, you've heard me say it a million times on this channel, we're gonna smoke to color. Once we get this pork butt to the color we like, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. But until then, we're just gonna keep maintaining the temperatures. So we've got that slow and sear with the, basically the charcoal is gonna feed across like the snake method, so it promotes a long cook. So man, we're in it for the long haul. So I'm gonna bring you guys back when we do our next checkpoint, roughly 2 hours or so. But hey, I'll see you then. Alright guys, we're at the 2 hour mark, and here we're just taking a look at this, and we can see we're getting some good color on this, and everything is looking good, looking just like I expect it to be right now. I'm not gonna do anything to this. I'm gonna get the lid back on and we're gonna let it keep going, and we'll check it back here in about another hour. Alright guys, so today as we go through this cook, we're going to be spritzing. And today I'm doing a mixture. It's just water and apple cider vinegar and honey. And it's probably 3 parts water to 1 part apple cider vinegar, and then a couple tablespoons of honey. So I've got that put in my sprayer bottle. You guys asked me about the sprayer bottle. It's down in the links. Guys, go check out my Amazon storefront if you're looking for a sprayer bottle, and you'll find it there. But that's what we're going to use to go ahead and keep this cooked nice and moisturized throughout. So that's what we're going to spritz with today, all right? Alright guys, this is about 3 hours into the cook. I'm touching here just to make sure that our rub is set. This one's looking a little drier here and there, so I'm going to go ahead and spray it. And we'll get the top back on and we'll let it keep going. Alright guys, we are 4 hours into this cook and taking a look. We're going to go ahead and spray down our pork butts. And another thing that I'm going to do, that I often do when I do brisket, is I'll take onions and I'll toss onions into my coals. It just gives another layer of flavor. So we're going to toss some onions in here. Then we're going to pop the top back on it and let it keep going. Alright guys, we are at the 5 hour mark. We're going to take a look. Everything is looking pretty good. Still developing a pretty good color on this pork butt, but we're going to go ahead and give it another spray. Also at this time I'm kind of going to rake the coals a little bit. I'm going to backfill, put more charcoal in here. Alright, and we'll get the lid put back on. We're going to let it keep going, guys. Alright guys, so hey, we just hit the 5 hour mark and we just checked our pork butts on here. Everything is going along great. We went ahead and spritzed it again with our spritz that we're using today. And we went ahead and kind of raked over the coals a little bit, got some of the ash out of there, and got fresh coals put in. Again, that was at the 5 hour mark. What we're gonna do now is I'm just gonna let it keep going, and the next time I bring you guys back, it's gonna be once we get to the color that we're looking for, and then we'll go ahead and get it wrapped up and finish off this cook. So man, we'll just let this thing keep rolling. All right guys, so we just hit the 7 hour mark on this cook. Our pork butts are looking pretty good, so it's gonna be time to get these off of the grill and get them wrapped up. So let's get them off. Now the way that I like to wrap my pork butts is I'll use aluminum foil, and I'll actually put down 2 sheets because we're going to double wrap this. And so the first sheet is going to be this long ways, and so I'll just wrap it around, kind of tuck it in here. And just roll it out. Then I'll take the second sheet and I'll wrap it right across the top side. Pinch on the sides and just kind of fold it right up over the top, just like this. And now this one is ready to go back onto the grill. And just like that, it's back on the grill, guys. All right, so now that we got both pork butts back on, you can see our heat is kind of kicked up because we had the lid off, which is perfect because once I wrap my brisket or my pork butts, I'll actually go ahead and kick up the temperature. So we are absolutely fine with that being protected in this foil. So we're gonna get the lid back on. All right, gang, so as I said, we hit the 7-hour mark with this pork butt to get to the color that I wanted. I've got it wrapped up now. It's back on our Weber kettle. The temperature has kicked up a bit simply because we had the lid off and I knew that it was gonna, you know, feed that fire and kick up the temperature for me. Anytime I wrap up my meat, whether it's a brisket or pulled pork or pork butts like this, I'll actually kick the temperature up once I've got the meat wrapped. Okay, so once it's wrapped, it's got some protection to it and it can withstand a little bit higher temperature, because right now we've already finished all the smoking we're going to do. Right now comes the tenderizing part of this cook. So what we're going to do is we're just going to let it go. I'll come back periodically and check it and see how the tenderness is for me. This is the time, guys, you kind of feel your way through this cook. You poke it with a temperature probe and kind of, you know, once it gets to the tenderness that you are looking for, then you'll go ahead and pull it and let it rest. I'm gonna let this keep going here. Once I get to the tenderness that I'm looking for, I'll bring you guys back and I'll let you know how long it takes. But hey, as it is, like I said, right now we're 7 hours into the cook. We're starting to tenderize this pork butt right now. We'll probably break it down, I don't know, I'm gonna guess and say maybe 2 hours. We'll see. But hey, I'll bring you back then, all right? All right, guys, it's time to check our tenderness. We've been 2 hours wrapped here. And again, like I said, we kicked up the temperature. So we're gonna go ahead and check this. And I'm just gonna take my temperature probe and just I kind of folded this back here so that I can kind of tuck in or poke in a place that if it's not where I want it, I can fold it back over and I'm not venting, okay? So fold this over, we're gonna slide in here, and that's actually feeling pretty good. Again, I'm not really too concerned with the internal temperature, but I know you guys like to ask, so we're sitting at 206 right now. So that's pretty good here. I'm gonna get these off so they can rest, and I'll bring you guys back when I give you a summary of what we did today. All right, guys, let's recap what we did today. So today we got us a couple of pork butts from our local Costco, and these were boneless. You know, I like to bone in, but hey, I take what I can get. So we got the boneless pork butts from our Costco today, and we got them seasoned up today with some Uncle Steve shank. We used the thick meat for the base layer, and then we came back with his new blend that's called the Competition Pig Powder. So we went ahead and got these pork butts seasoned up with that. We got our Weber kettle fired up with our B&B Competition Oak Briquettes, and we used some hickory wood today for our flavor. We got that onto our Weber kettle, and then we went ahead and got our pork butts put on. We went ahead and smoked them to the color that we were looking for, and then we went ahead and got them wrapped up. So after we got to the tenderness that we wanted, we pulled the pork butt off and we let it rest down to 150 degrees. So once we got the pork butt cooled down to 150 degrees internal temperature, we went ahead and pulled it apart. We went ahead and sprayed some more of our spray mixture onto it, and then we went ahead and re-seasoned it with our Uncle Steve shake rubs. We went ahead and seasoned that to taste, and then we went ahead and added in some of our own favorite barbecue sauce. So use your own barbecue sauce, guys. Whatever you want to use, go for it. It's time for us to taste it, right? So let's get over here and taste it. All right, guys, so this is what we got. I got some chunks here that I went ahead and sliced off and kept them whole. And then we've got our pulled pork with a little bit of our barbecue sauce on top. So, man, let's give it a taste. Alright, so hey, again guys, if you enjoyed what you saw here on making this pulled pork, you might want to check out a couple of videos I have listed right here and hit that subscribe button, alright?